Certainly, we all know there are differences between men and women, but what about male and female leadership? How is it the same and how is it different? Joining me to explore that question will be Deborah Shane. She is Chief Catalyst, Motivator, and Educator with Train with Shane, her own consulting company. She's also producer of the Women's Empowerment Series and author of the forthcoming new book, Career Transitions, Making the Shift. So let's explore together the whole issue of women in leadership. The leadership that women have exerted in the family and in social situations, they've actually bring that into the business environment. There's a lot of stuff there.
There is a lot of stuff there. And you know, the one thing I want to start off by saying is, you know, when we think of leadership, we kind of think of business, which rightfully so. That's kind of where it's been focused on. The word, the phenomenon of leadership usually is defined through business, but truthfully, women are now defining leadership in their families, in their business, and in their communities. I mean, men are too, but I think women are really looking at those three areas to define where they can express their leadership. We know at business, we just talked about that.
Right.
But with regard to your family, I mean, if you're trying to bring your kids up with certain values and your family up with certain values, you got to be a power of example.
Exactly.
You got to do what you do and, you know, do what you say. So I think it's important to step up that way in family situations. With regard to community, I mean, it's just my belief, and I guess, you know, people have described me as kind of a social entrepreneur because I believe in giving back to the community that supports me and the world that supports me. You know, we have shifted to a we world. It's not just I and what I can get out of it. It's about giving back to and supporting the community that supports you and certain causes and nonprofits that you're very passionate about that you know are important to support right now.
You know, I bet the influx of women in leadership positions has helped to fuel all the social networking sites that we have now, like Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and so forth, where you're going to follow me this month, but because you're following me, I'm going to follow you next month. There's that reciprocity. There's
Exactly.
that I'm supporting you, you support me kind of thing.
Well, you know, human beings, I heard this psychologist say this on TV. He was asked about, well, what do you think, why do you think this is so phenomenal? You know, and he said, because human beings are social beings. And so the social platforms that have come about here in the last few years are just perfect for human beings.
Just a natural extension.
A natural way to connect, build community, become an author, become, you know, provide content, support content. I think it's pretty extraordinary. I wanted to share with you 5 nouns, if you will, that I believe accelerate leadership, especially in women. The first one is to be a change agent, yielding your influence through lots of purposeful action, knowing, you know, what you believe in and supporting what you believe in, taking actions. The second one is confidence. Women just need to keep working on their self-esteem and their self-confidence. It's really important. Having a clear vision, as we said, to be able to see things, create things, and innovate. I think that's something women are starting to really get comfortable with.
Actually, I've had a guest on before who was talking about what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So particularly for women who are trying to be entrepreneurs and create or expand their small business, is that entrepreneurs see things that other people don't see.
It is
They
definitely,
see gaps.
and I can attest to that because I mean I get these like wow.
Where'd that come from?
I bet I could do that. You know, I'm going to do that.
Right.
You know, the next one is perseverance, and that's the keep going. You tie a knot and you hang on. You know, you just keep going because you have a deep belief that what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing. And finally, and one of the most powerful nouns, and I have it actually in my title, is catalyst. And that's when you inspire others to action and results. So I I wanted to put on my description of who I am, kind of who I am. So I put motivator, educator, and catalyst. Though I'm not CEO and I'm not the president, even though I am.
Right.
But that's who I am.
That's more descriptive of your identity.
I'm the chief motivator, educator, and catalyst at Train with Shane.
Exactly. And by the way, I love that name, Train with Shane, which, by the way, is Deborah's website. She can be reached at www.trainwithshane.com. And also, you have a blog.
I do.
That is called DeborahShaneToolbox.com. So if you ever want to contact Deborah with any questions regarding motivation, catalysts, leadership, women's issues, she's certainly a great source for that. Deborah, thank you so much for being on the show today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching this episode of Good Work Now, and I'd like to hear your thoughts about this issue of women empowerment and leadership. Please feel free to email me at brianmoffitt@comcast.net, and until next time, keep up the good work.